Memphis. I call the meeting to order. Pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Davis.
Here.
Parker.
Here.
Schneider.
Here.
Stoops.
Here.
Wilson.
Here.
Dukasar. Here. Dukes W.
And no non-agenda items from the sidelines, so I have an adoption or amendment to the agenda. There's no amendments that I know of, so.
Or do you want the comments from the city?
Pardon me?
City administration.
Oh, I missed something? Yes, I did. Comments from city administration, Don? Dave?
Just tomorrow night's the last night for Town by the River closing time band down there. And the senior nights are going good. We're picking up all the time. And that's all I got.
Okay, thank you. Now, motion to adopt or amend the agenda, no amendments, so I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
Make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Support. Parker.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Stoops.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Dukasar.
Yes.
Dukes W.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
And hopefully you've read over the meetings of August the 4th, and if acceptable, no changes, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of August the 4th.
Make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Support.
Schneider.
Yes.
Stoops.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Dukasar.
Yes.
Dukes W.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Parker.
Yes.
No communications, so the unfinished business is the planning commission's recommendations on Dollar General. Matt, I guess you got the floor. You might explain to the council and to
Could you stand over here so that she can see?
Sure.
yeah. And would you like that?
Yeah, that's okay. I'll bring this easel over with me.
Okay.
Thank you. My name is Matt Casey. I'm with the Surrender Group. We are the developer for Dollar General on this property. And last week we appeared before Planning Commission with really 3 applications. And those were for a lot split and consolidation, a zoning / rezoning, and site plan approval. So I'll walk you through those real quick. But before I start, I wanted to let you know one thing that's unique about this property is at the end of the day, Dollar General is going to own it. It's not us as a developer owning the land or the building and leasing it back to Dollar General. This is going to be owned by Dollar General corporately. So that is different than probably the majority of the stores out there that you would see. Most of the Dollar Generals now are probably owned by somebody else. And now Dollar General is just leasing those. But in this case, they're going to own both the property and the building. So first off, we have a lot split and consolidation. The property itself is under 2 separate owners, okay? And if you're familiar with it, this is the Arctic Queen right here. This is Harrow's property. There's really 3 parcels in here owned between those 2 owners. And what we're doing is a lot split and consolidation to create, this would be the Dollar General parcel at 1.58 acres. And then the owners of the Arctic Queen, the remaining of this land, is consolidated and it just becomes one larger tract right now. They currently own the 2 tracts, but during that lot split and consolidation, some of this land gets added over to create this piece. Then in turn, this gets added to the back so that they can have access onto the main road. And then it just becomes one parcel. So any questions at all on a lot split and consolidation? The rezoning, right now, the property is zoned commercial. And we requested it to go to, or it's currently a residential, we requested it to go to a commercial zoning, which was approved last week at planning. I believe that the zoning itself was going to be general commercial, which I think is going to be consistent down the road. The plan that you see before you is the site plan that we're proposing. The building itself is 9,100 square foot, which is roughly 70 by 130. Parking across the front and along the side, 1 point of access. It allows for 1 large semi to come in, which Dollar General has 1 main delivery per week. The truck is able to circulate down this drive aisle, back itself up to the loading, and make its way back out the front. So all the deliveries are contained on site, okay? This is the main doorway, which faces Main Street. Not shown on this plan, but we did agree with planning commissions that there is going to be a connection out to the sidewalk this way for walkers who will walk up to the building itself, okay? The building operates 7 days a week, typically 8 to 10, unless business dictates otherwise. If they're just not getting anybody past 9 o'clock, they'll shut down at 9. Parking lot lighting and the signs come on half an hour before open, and they shut off half an hour after close. All deliveries and garbage pickup take place during business hours, so they don't have odd deliveries itself. Now with that, the main semi only comes once a week. They do get the ancillary deliveries like the Frito-Lay, the Coca-Cola, newspapers, just on an as-needed basis as sales dictate. But those are able to park back here. It's pretty simple. So the building itself, we knew going to this location, we were not going to be able to propose the prototypical building. So we are proposing more of a residential look. So the store is, like I said, it's 9,100 square foot, but we fashioned it to look more like a residential house itself. It has a pitched roof. It does have vinyl siding on all 4 sides, but at the request of Planning Commission, we added this brick wainscot, which there's actually a sample of that material on the table itself. And that's going to be on 2 sides of the building. So it's going to be across the front that you're seeing from Main Street. It's going to be along this parking side here. This side of the building is actually, it's probably enclosed by a fence that we're going to rebuild on that side, so you're not going to see that wainscot. And at the rear, it's just going to stay siding as well, where you won't see it. So we have faux windows in the front. These are actually right now, if you were to go into the store, they're going to be in the bathrooms and the living rooms. So they're there for decoration. They don't actually, you can't actually see the building itself, except from the front doors. The building lighting itself stays on just on exterior wall pads that you can see one peeking through here. And you might be able to see it better on the handout on the table. Those just stay on for security purposes at night. Those are timed differently than the parking lot lighting, but it's just strictly perimeter lighting. All the lighting itself has cutoff shields, and it's going to be directed downwards, so we're trying not to get any light spill into the neighbors itself. The roof is a metal roof, similar to what is shown across the street, except in this case, it's more of a blackish gray to go on. It's more of a tan siding, so it looks fairly residential. You know, with that, that's really the 30,000-foot view of the building and site. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
I think us and the planning commission have asked a lot of questions already, but some of you may not be familiar, so if you have any questions, now's the time to ask them.
How well is this gonna hold up? I know that you guys are talking about with the snow buildup and.
I think Matt can answer that.
Yeah.
I have no problem with it whatsoever.
Yeah, the Nietzsche Hut, for Dollar General, they've approved it themselves. It holds up really well. Being that they have to do the maintenance, and they had to approve it on one of their corporately owned stores, they're good with that. You know, really the lifespan on those is about the same length as the building. The only difference is you'll get sometimes nicks and chips in it on the front, and then they do come with a touch-up kit that somebody in the building can just come out and just touch up the building.
The planning commission requested a hard surface rather than just the vinyl, for the fact that the vinyl may, something to get through some big crack, whatever. But with that brick up there, wainscoting coming up, I think about 3 feet, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we thought that was better, and so the planning commission requested that. And they approved it, so.
Is there gonna be an outside shopping cart corral?
They have an indoor park,
It's
correct?
indoor, okay.
How's the landscaping gonna be like it is on the picture there?
It is actually, it's funny, we just had a talk this morning with the engineer. What we're proposing right now is out front, all through here, when we build, this is all going to be sod right away with irrigation to get the green look. There's some large trees along Main Street, and the engineer right now is working to try to keep those trees. So we're looking at not taking those down. Along this side is hidden by the fence, so we're going to do what we can to get some landscape in there, but for the most part, it's just going to be hidden grass area. But will be a 6-foot board-on-board fence. And we're gonna try to just run like a shrub hedge across the front of the parking stalls for some headlight screen. The biggest thing we're working on right now is to keep the trees.
Any more questions?
And I know you mentioned too, there's gonna be a bike rack right
Yes.
in the front, right?
Bike rack is gonna be right over here, right at the end of the sidewalk.
What kind of fence did you say was going to go in the back?
It's gonna be a 6-foot wood board on board, and it's gonna run this property line.
Is that the dumpsters in the back?
Yeah, this is the dumpster back here. This is enclosed as well with wood, and it's gonna have a solid screen fence across the front of it too.
Is the back area gonna have anything? Is there gonna be a drain runoff back there, or is rainwater runoff, or?
Yeah, what happens is, right now, even as the property is today, all the drainage goes back this way. So what we envision is, that with this being a pitched roof, this side is gonna daylight into a swale, and it's gonna make its way to kind of like a little collection area right here. This side of the roof in the parking lot is gonna get picked up by pipe, come back here to this collection area. Then it's gonna get fed by like a level spreader back into this area where it's currently draining right now, and it'll be filtered. So the engineer though is gonna have to talk with the town's engineer as to what that final design is gonna be.
Where's your sign going to be?
There's 2 signs, one on the building up here, and there's gonna be one right at the entranceway right there.
Ground level up?
There's gonna be there's like a 2.5 and 3 foot masonry base on it, and that's gonna be held up by 2 posts, and then it goes above that, so kind of looks like a goal post with the sign on top of it, so you can see through the bottom of it if you're in a car.
Those will come on, they'll be lit, they'll come on a half hour before and go off a half hour.
That's
after.
correct. That's correct.
Any more questions? Okay, just a little history. Dollar General representative approached Dan just prior to him leaving. I think that was about, he was here, I think a couple of weeks before he left. And I've had many conversations with various representatives of Dollar General since then, plus a couple of meetings. So it's been kind of a long process, but I think it's near its conclusion. So the planning commission did recommend their recommendation to council, and they approved the site plan. They approved the rezoning is of 163 by 423 feet, 1.5 acres from RM to commercial, C1 commercial or general commercial. They also approved the necessary parcel splits and combinations. And as Matt explained, there's 3 parcels involved in this, and principal parcel belonging to where the Dairy Queen or South Ice Cream Store is, and also the Harold property. And so there's approximately 65 feet taken from where the parking asphalt is over to Harold's property, and that was a kind of a combination. Then there's about 8 acres in behind that, and that then will become combined with the Soft Ice Cream. So that is the lot split and combination. So if there's any questions that I'm glad Matt will probably answer, but I think everything's been addressed so far. So if there isn't any more questions on that, then I think we'll approve these in 3 steps. So I would entertain a motion to approve the site plan.
I'll make that motion to approve the site plan.
Support?
Stoops?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Lukasar?
Yes.
Lukastabio?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Okay, the next step on this then is we'll approve the rezoning of the dimensions and the acreage I just mentioned, and you'll change that from RM to C1 commercial or general commercial. So I entertain a motion for that.
So moved.
Support.
Wilson?
Yes.
Lukasar?
Yes.
Lukastabio?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Stoops.
Yes.
Okay, the final step is the approving the necessary partial splits and combination, and I think those were cited in some of the memos you have attached, so I'll entertain a motion for that.
I'll make that motion.
Sukasar,
Yes.
Sukastabio,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes. Okay, the next, that is done now, the next thing is the Memphis Community School liaison agreement. I think this is an agreement that we've signed every year, correct? It's not- Oh, SIMCOG is.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm messing up here, right, SIMCOG's next, okay. All right, we had a meeting, I think there was, Justin, Bart, and myself, and a representative from, SIMCOG, Susan Stefanski, I believe is how you pronounce it. And, the memo that I wrote, there's a couple issues I think that's beneficial to Memphis. And the one is that they do attend the St. Clair County Metropolitan Planning Commission meetings. And this was the meetings that where the money is allocated to roads. Back in, I think probably 2009, I think I believe it was, that we got a grant of $530,000 for Boardman East, and we spent approximately $65,000 in engineering costs. That project was ready to basically start, and then with a meeting with MDOT, and then it was canceled. So we're trying to get that back, and I think there's a good chance that we'll get that back and stream in the next period. However, SIMCOG is active in that, and the meeting that Bart attended, they were instrumental in supporting us doing that. So I think that's one thing that would help us. The second thing is the fire department. They have done feasibility studies on districts and so on. So I think they could help with that, and I think it's something that would be beneficial also to the city. And the yearly membership is $740. So, Justin, can you add anything to this, or?
No, you pretty much summed it up. The fire department has been looking into possibly doing a feasibility study to see if a fire authority would be a good step to go into. There's private companies that out there that do those types of studies. We've gotten anywhere from about $8,000 to $10,000 roughly in there for a company to come in and do one of those studies. This is a program that SEMCOG offers if you are a member of SEMCOG. So as far as the fire department goes, it would benefit us.
So I think it's beneficial for us to belong to that, and if any questions, Justin will try to answer them. So does anyone have any further questions on this? If there's no further questions, then I'll entertain a motion that we sign the documents necessary to become a member of SIMCOG at $740 a year.
Make that motion.
Support.
Is it getting split up amongst them?
Yeah, how many different departments is there?
DPW and fire?
I think, the cost will split that between two.
The police, it's not police.
I don't
Surprised we
know.
haven't been a member of SEMCOG sooner.
I think we were at one time.
I think years ago.
Yeah.
If I remember, I think we were at one time, but I think it's beneficial.
I used to make deliveries to them for 20 years, and I'm very familiar with all the benefits that they
Yeah,
give to
And I-
communities throughout Southeast
yeah.
Michigan.
And I did give you a list of all the benefits to them, so,
Yeah, there's a lot on there.
yeah.
Sukastabio,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Yes.
Parker, Schneider,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Sukasar.
Yes.
Okay, now the Memphis school. This is an agreement that I think that Memphis has with the schools every year. And so don't think there's any changes in this, so we need a motion to approve this for the coming school year.
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Davis,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Sukasar,
Yes.
SukasW.
Yes.
Okay, the next one's the invoice, and it's, I think you might say police department, it's actually fire department. So Justin, would you,
Yeah, we received a grant back, I think I mentioned probably 2 months ago maybe, from Enbridge for $1,000. And this is what we're going to use that grant for. This is how the grant was written, to be able to supply the guys with uniform pants. So this is a partial invoice. All the guys have not been fitted yet for them. The grant was for $1,000. I believe this invoice is for 600. So this is a good portion of what it's going to cost, but not complete.
okay. Any further questions? Can I have a motion then to approve this invoice in the amount of $593.90? Approved, correct?
So moved.
Support.
Parker,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Sukasar,
Yes.
SukasW,
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
The next is the fire department full-time position. This is something that's been talked about for some time. So I don't know who wants to.
Well, what we'd like to do is ask for permission basically to proceed with looking into the possibility of having a full-time position within the fire department. As you guys are well aware of, we have 2 officer positions that are open right now, 2 assistant chiefs positions that are opened up. Our staffing's low, so we would like to look into the possibility of maybe having a full-time position. With this would give us, the next steps would be meeting with the townships to see what they have to say on it, getting a total cost to see what it would completely cost to have a full-time position, writing up some type of a agreement, maybe getting with the city attorney to see, what the job description, things like that. So I guess really what we're asking right now for is to be able to look into that option, is to maybe having a full-time position to take on the tasks that.
I think what they were requiring is the committee and the fire department.
Yeah, the committee met last week Thursday on it and kind of discussed it a little bit.
Well, one of the things too is, in case anybody's not clear on this, is that because our manpower is down, we're actually we were under budget by 15,
close to 20,000.
close to 20,000 last year. So that will all go into our equipment replacement fund. So we're kind of hoping that this will give somebody, it'll create a position where somebody can kind of take care of some of the things that need to be taken care of on an everyday basis, should I say?
Yeah. In the years past, Bob could probably give you a better idea, we had no problems 25 to 30 members being on the department, so those tasks, those responsibilities were split up amongst 25, 30 guys. Right now, we've got 16 with 2 of them being rookies, per se. They don't have any training. So really 14 is what we're at. So we're just looking at options to see if this would be feasible to be able to do something like this and have that person come in and take on the task that was spread out amongst members before.
And the 2 part-time positions hasn't really worked out.
Yeah, we did a part-time position here that you guys are aware of. I think it was back in October, I believe, that got approved. And it worked out well for the beginning when it was getting filled, and now recently it hasn't. Nobody's signed up for any of the days. I've taken it on here for the last probably 2 weeks, but up until that, we had about 3 months where nobody was even taking the opportunity to get paid to be at the station during the day. So we tried the part-time position. that's really not working out. This is just another option to see if we can see if it's even possible to do it or not. I'm not even sure that the townships are going to be, because we also got to answer the townships, and if townships don't feel that it's a great idea, then we got to look at the alternatives.
Well, you got another, you're kind of looking at the fire district too, though that's kind of a long.
That's right.
The feasibility study could be done in a few months, but the actually implement something like that. could take-
The authority,
Yeah.
it could,
Take
3
a year,
years out,
3 years,
5
yeah.
years out before that
Yeah.
fire authority could
So,
come about.
Yeah, 'cause part of that would be a village, right? For the whole district
Well,
or
If
something?
that was, that,
I mean, if we get that far.
Yeah, that's one of the options of becoming a fire authority. But like I said, even once the feasibility study's done, then it goes into legal and stuff like that, so it could be
It's a-
3 years before. And
Yeah,
then it's gotta go to a vote of all the people on it, so.
It's a very
we're-
complicated process.
Yeah,
And,
I'll give you, Marine City did a fire authority, and it took them about 5 years
Yeah.
from start to finish to get it implemented.
But with so many volunteer fire departments, it is becoming an issue. So I made a memo and I just give it to the committee members. It's just some things that probably you could look at and be interested. That's all that's for. So is there, and I think what Justin wants this time is just the permission from the council to actually proceed in steps to investigate the possibility of fulfilling that position. So that's all he wants, it's just permission from the council to proceed.
If there's no more questions, I'll make that motion.
I'll support it. And this will be, like I said, it's nothing that tomorrow we're gonna have a full-time position, but it's gonna take time for us to meet with the townships, go over the legal ends of it and things like that, so.
I got a question about the $10,000 it says in here for the equipment. You're gonna take $10,000 of equipment and replace it. How's that gonna affect you?
And that's one thing we gotta look at, to see if that's an option, see if we can do that or not.
Yeah,
Currently,
so that-
right now, we put in 40,000 a year, out of our budget, we put in 40,000 a year set aside for equipment replacement, to purchase new equipment, new trucks, things like that.
Yeah. I think.
If taking that 10,000 out, it may not work to where, no, we can't take that money, it's gonna, we need all of that 40,000 to continue.
That's what
We used to put about 30,000 in there, but the last couple of years, so it's around 40. We got 148,000 in there right now. And I think there's nothing been put in this fiscal year yet, so there'd be 40,000 going in that. But one of the things I mentioned to the committee is that you should do actually the fire department should do a study to project maybe for 5 or 10 years, evaluate the equipment they have, how long it'll take, when it might have to be replaced down the road, estimate the cost. There's a lot of things that'll have to go into this before this can proceed. So I just think right now it's just a permission for them to proceed and
Correct, yeah, I mean-
and put their facts together and do the due diligence and see how it's feasible, and then go to the townships, pass it by them and see what goes. So I think there's a motion. Was there a support?
Schneider,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Lukasar,
Yes.
LukasW, Davis,
Yes.
Parker.
Okay, I only have one thing, and that is,
We got a call.
I see. Okay. I only have one thing, and it's that is we're in the process of doing our police chief interviews. We interviewed one already, and there are 2 more coming up that we'll be interviewing. One dropped out because he had another job. So hopefully the interviews will be done by the weekend and early next week. Hopefully we'll have somebody that we can appoint for a police chief to get that position. And that's all I have. Robert?
No, I do like the looks of that building though. And I like those big
Yeah.
windows on the front. I think it's a
Well,
little more.
when he showed me that
Small.
months ago, I was quite impressed with it. I was impressed with that.
Compared to, I've looked at other ones.
Yeah, because it blends in with our architecture of the old houses and so on. And I like the other fact that it's owned by the corporation rather than a franchisee. So if something happens now with the business cycle, they're able to go over the rough spots and so on. So those parts are good. Eric?
I just want to mention that next Saturday, the 29th, the Lions are having a sock hop under the pavilion at the youth center. It's going to be a fundraiser for the roof, and we are also going to dedicate the pavilion to George Kirkendall, longtime mayor, Mr. Memphis. I'm sure everybody knows who George is. He was a longtime Lion member, and he was involved in all kinds of stuff around the city. So that's going to be happening next Saturday. It's actually free. There's going to be raffles and stuff if you want to get involved in that part of it. But the event itself is free. So everybody come on out and have a good time. We're going to have some music and dance to some 50s music and whatever Dave wants to spend that night. It should be a lot of fun. Thanks. That's all I have.
Okay, Jason.
Awesome.
Frank?
And also this coming Saturday, the Lions have a euchre tournament, and top three prizes or scores win a prize, so why not play some euchre? 22nd.
Okay, Scott?
I don't know.
Bill?
I think.
Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.